Little Travis picking there. We're going to talk about that this week. This is the 6th week of the second level. And I'm sure that you picked up on what your milestones should be hitting with your evaluations or your midterms, whatever test unit you decided to use for yourself, whatever measurement. So let's keep moving forward. What we want to do this week is take a look at some of the chord primers. Let's take a look at chord primer number 2. And we're going to Travis pick it. You can use it as a Travis picking exercise. And we're going to take it at about 100 beats a minute. So we're going to slow it down a little bit so we can do the basic folk pick, which again is this pick. And you have a video that shows you how to properly Travis pick. There's a finger picking video that goes along with this. So you have to check in on that video. It'll be in your stack with all the additional material. And it'll be called finger picking, Travis picking. It'll say right on it, so you won't have any trouble finding it. So, look back at that if you haven't been working on your Travis picking or your folk picking, your stride picking with your thumb. You want to really start analyzing that this term for sure, because you want to be able to finger pick along with strumming. So we're going to take a look at primer number 2, all 3 exercises on that page. Starting on the first measure, the second exercise starts on measure 9, third exercise starts on measure 17. So here's your exercise with your Travis pick at 100 beats a minute. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, play along. Pick up the bottom note with your third finger on your left hand there for your C chord. Repeat, E minor. Always start your pick with the root note of the chord. Next exercise, G, D, C, A minor, C, D, repeat. Next exercise, 17 measure, and measure 17, and 1, and 2, and 3, and here we are. And repeat. So those are the ways you need to exercise your Travis picking, using your chord primers as a second go-around, another set of exercises for your right hand. You want to concentrate on that the rest of the time during this second set of 10 weeks of study, your second term, the second level of your red book. It's important to get with that. Now, the other thing I want you to do, if you're at any of the schools, or even if you're not doing this as a school project, but you're actually just studying and you want to do independent study, there's two things I'd like to have you do: is go out and listen to a live band somewhere. Go see a live band this week, or within the next week or two. And when you get done watching that band, I don't know, maybe take a few photos or a little short movie of it with your smartphone. Again, doing something really smart with your smartphone is watching something, observing it, maybe getting a little documentation. Come home and write a little something. And for those of you that are in our unlimited zone, shall we say, the lifetime membership zone, you may decide that you want to use one of your evaluations and just go ahead and send us in an email. Tell us who you listened to and why you liked them, why they were exciting to you. Again, second level folks that are taking this as a school project, you have to do this. You have to go listen to a live band. You have to evaluate that band. Give me an eval. Give me a critique, why you liked them, what you didn't like about them, what you'd like to play differently, or what you'd like to play that's the same as they play. If it's somebody you really liked, or it was a favorite band, or you had some concert tickets, go to a concert. Tell me how the concert went. Let us know. And again, the other written piece of business you have to do if you're in school, but you may want to do this again just as an independent study. Pick a favorite movie, and I want you to do this in order. And you'll be able to read this. This will be a super on the screen. Number one, you're going to listen and watch the movie at the same time, just like you normally would listen to and watch a movie. You typically don't think about listening to it, but I want you to listen to every bit of it, from the very opening, from the opening credits, whoever, whether it was Columbia Pictures or Mirror Pond or Miramax or any of the M's or the old Orion stuff, whatever. Look at the logos that come up for the different movie makers, and listen to what if they have a fanfare. Let me know what that is. If a movie starts out like, say, Paramount, starts out with the big mountain and it's the 75th anniversary or whatever, you see some stars pop over the top of the mountain that's in the background there, and it says Paramount Pictures. Let me know if it was sound effects or if it was a orchestration of whatever. So this is what you do. You tell me what you heard and what you saw, and watch the movie in about 20 minutes. Most movies nowadays use a 20-minute setup. So the idea here is to really listen to what you're being mesmerized by. Really listen to it, really watch it. Tell me what instruments you hear. Tell me if there's a theme in the beginning, and if it has anything to do with the opening credits, or if it has to do with the actual establishing shot at the very beginning. Remember, if it weren't for movies, most of our classical music would be strictly by patron alone. There would be patrons of the arts that would be supporting the classical music people in all around, the ones that do concerts, the say in our states, the Oregon State Symphony, which is in Portland, and of course some of the smaller symphony orchestras around the state are community orchestras, but they're supported by patrons. They're not supported directly by fundage that comes to them for performing something that's recorded. That happens in movies. And the classical music has been kept alive, and orchestrated music and a bunch of other styles of music that we don't think about are kept alive by film. So I want you to take a look at that. This is the modern world. We're no longer in the time of silent movies and then all of a sudden talkies. We now have selfies. We can make a movie of ourselves and put some background music in it that we like and send it to somebody that we don't even know. So it's an exciting time. So use this time to critique a movie 3 ways. Watch it from the beginning in about 20 minutes. Tell me what you see and what you hear. It doesn't have to be a whole book, just a couple of paragraphs. And then tell me the most important part. How did it make you feel? Now go back to the beginning of the movie for your second critique and shut the sound off and just watch it for 20 minutes. From the very beginning up to where you stopped it the first time. And then tell me what you saw. See if that changed. Sometimes when you're watching a movie and when you're listening to it separately, you shut the sound off, something was going on visibly in the visual that was a kind of subliminal message. And you didn't even notice it because all the noise that was going on was a fight scene, and you were looking at that. You didn't notice in the background what was going on. Shut the fight scene off, and all of a sudden, there's something going on in the background. And also, tell me what you heard when you had the sound shut off. Did you have anything going on in your head? Did you remember what the sound was and what the scuffle was or what the explosion was or what the music was, whether it was exciting or whether it was romantic or whatever? What was going on when you did have the sound, or did you have your own soundtrack when you watched the movie without any track in it at all? You don't have any verbiage, you don't have the actors, you don't hear them talking. Do you have a sound in your head that's working? Just watching the visual. If you watch say a Disney flick or any of the anime stuff, you're definitely going to have some sounds going on in your head because there's lots of visual action there. So it depends on the movie as to whether or not that happens, but let me know. Then the third pass and the last pass is you go back to the beginning and do these in order. You watch and you listen, then you just watch without the sound, then the third time you go back to the beginning and you just listen to it. Turn it up nice and loud so you can hear it. You can't do this with people around, so you want to do it. And you want to write down your critique as you go. Don't do this and pretend that you can remember what happened 2 days ago. Do this at the time. This is about a 40-minute deal for you, maybe an hour's worth of your time. But it's going to show you something about listening. It's also going to explain to you what the effects are of sound along with pictures. It's a very important thing to know. So you go back the third time, just listen to the movie. Tell me what you saw in your head when you listened to it. Because you still see something in there. Did you see the stuff that was in the movie because you know the movie so well? Or did you see something different? Was it funnier? Was it happier? Was it scarier? What did the music sound like? Was it like a radio show? Did you totally see what was going on? Or was it so sparse that you gave you a whole different thought in your head, a whole different picture altogether? Tell me that. Again, a couple of paragraphs on each critique, 3 critiques. That's what you need to hand in if you're taking this as a class, and if you're not, but you're on board with us at the next levels, and you're doing evals on a regular basis, and you're taking lessons. Do this exercise. It's a good listening exercise. It's a good awareness exercise, and everybody should do this at this point of their development anyway when they're learning to play a musical instrument. You want to really look at the music around you and the sounds around you, start understanding how huge it really is and how wonderful it actually is and how much joy there is in the listening and the creating of music. So until next week, practice hard. Do those, go out and watch a band. Take a look at your favorite movie, one you've seen a lot, so that you'll recognize what it is. You don't want to go in blind because third time you see it, you've probably seen it 20 times. There's some things you may not even recognize. You've seen it so many times you quit looking at it. So do that. And again, practice your Travis picking this week with your chord primers. Stay with your scales, your spelling bee, your 5 chord forms, and all 4 of your blueses. And I'll see you at 7th week. Thanks.